acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the stolen land on which this video was recorded and edited on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I extend that respect to the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia. I also pay respect to the elders both past, present and emerging. Sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Abby. Today I'm going to be doing the YouTuber newbie tag. I've got the questions on my phone. The first question is, when did you start? No. Why did you start your channel? I started my channel because there is no greater joy than talking to people about books and talking to community about a book that we are loving. It feels like a sense of belonging and you feel seen, and I feel like I really want to connect with people who enjoy the same books as me, want to talk about them, want to talk about theories. I have a TikTok at the moment, but yeah, I've always wanted to start my own channel since literally 2013 YouTuber days.
What's up, guys?
So yeah, that's why I started my channel. Next question. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? This is such a funny question. It makes me like have imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm in an interview. Hopefully diversity. I'm Australian. Also want to talk about books that is specific to my reading taste. I'm obviously open to new books and trying new things. I have a few videos planned of like reading like this person for a day, but my interests pretty much lie in romance, fantasy romance, feminism, racial theory, social injustice. I think that that's what's really gonna make me unique. Okay, I like this setup better. Alright, I moved the camera because the lighting was just not the best. What else can I bring that's unique? I am fat, queer, feminist. I also want to make historical videos and media recommendations of different queer, diverse and minority media that I'm consuming and wanting to recommend to people. Also want to make history videos about different people and different women in history, and just use my channel as a voice of people who don't get a voice, people who didn't get a voice in history, and try to create the channel that I've always been searching for on YouTube, and that is, you know, feminist history, feminist theory. As you can tell, I'm a big feminist. But yes, so it's not just gonna be about books, but a lot of the time it probably will be about books. I would love to do vlogs and that kind of thing as well. I also really want a channel that talks about queer and specifically lesbian recommendations, sapphic recommendations, but also ones with like spice, you know, a lot of videos you don't get to see that. It's a lot of YA fiction. Let's move on to the next question. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I'm mostly excited to connect with people who are like-minded in our reading tastes, and also I'm really excited to just create videos that I'm proud of and that I want to look back on. What the heck was that? She's honestly wild out here. Mostly excited to start something that's for me. I feel like many things that I start, they're not for me, they're like for other people, or they're for the approval of others, or they are to be successful, and that's not what I want. Like, obviously it would be so nice to see people watching the videos that I make, but I really want to just create and make something that I'm proud of, so that's why I started. I've literally had this camera and this tripod for years. Like, I don't even know when I got it. Like, it was it's been a long time coming for me to be able to do this, so I'm very proud of myself. If you're seeing this, it means I posted it. As Lord knows I have, not Lord, oh jeez, because I know that I have so many videos on my SD card that I have not posted because I've been too scared, and I don't want to be scared anymore. I don't want to be scared of haters, I don't want to be scared of it, and yeah, I think overcoming that fear is another thing I'm really excited about. Why do you love reading? This question, what a good question, right? Why Why do I love reading? You can tell I haven't fucking prepared my, oh, I don't even know if I'm allowed to swear. Fuck. I love reading because I love to honestly lose myself, because this world can be really shit. But also just stunning reading. Yeah, I love to just like lose myself, and I'm sure like a lot of us who read want to go to different worlds that don't exist. My favorite part of reading is when you start reading and then you're like reading, but then you lose yourself in the reading and you're actually in the world, and then you look up and you've been reading for like an hour and you like feel like you were there and you feel immersed in it. That is such a fun reading experience. Anyways, and also I love reading because I grew up reading. It's a sense of nostalgia for me. Like anytime I'm reading, my inner child is just like, oh, reading. I think it reminds me a lot of growing up, but in like a good way, in like a cool way.
She cried.
She did cry.
In a good way, right?
In a cool way.
What book or series got you into reading? Like I said, I've been reading for a long time, long time. So year 4 was the first time I read a chapter book. It was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. Yeah, I wouldn't say that that book really got me into reading, but I guess that's the first chapter book I read, so maybe it is. But yeah, I remember that experience specifically because I like wrote about my thoughts about it. But also like Harry Potter, like in year 5 I read Harry Potter. We did silent reading like every day, and we had to like pick a book, and I remember I forgot my book that day, and my teacher had Harry Potter on her shelf, so I picked up the first one, and my life was literally changed forever. Obviously J.K. Rowling is a transphobe, and so I do not support her or support that, but sometimes you just have to separate the work from the artist, because life is too short and too hard to not consume the things you enjoy. But I don't think that I'll be talking about Harry Potter very much on my channel because of that reason. Here's my baby. This is Vera, and her sister's in the other room. Should I go and get her? Alright, fine. I will. This is Davina. She's a little baby. She says, I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
Next question. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I would probably ask my favorite booktubers maybe like what their favorite tropes or what their favorite things are in books, or like why their favorite book is their favorite book. Or honestly, just hit them right in the gut with like, what's the meaning of life? Or what do you think the meaning of life is? I think that's a pretty good question. Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Probably being really critical of myself. I'm already very critical of myself, and I think hearing people's comments about me or like the content that I'm making or like what I look like, honestly one of the biggest things that has stopped me. But these people are imaginary. Like, even if I do get a hate comment, who are they to comment on what I'm doing? Literally nobody. Like, my best advice for that is, not that I'm giving advice to you, but my best advice for myself is to imagine the hate comments as white cis men who have all of the privilege in the world, and be like, ew, as if I would listen to a white cis man and his opinions. I wouldn't. So I also think consistency might be a little bit hard for me, but I'm hoping that we can nip that in the bud real fast and just make it really about enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, instead of like focusing on the numbers and anything like that, because that's really not what I'm doing it for. But sometimes it's easier to get caught up in that. Number 8, when did you start reading? I started reading when I've literally been reading my entire life, honestly. It's been like off and on. I've had different periods of my life where I wasn't reading, but pretty much my entire life I've been reading. When I couldn't read, my mum would read to me every night before bed. I was a big story lover, story enthusiast. And my mum told me that she used to read to me in the womb, so I was born for books. Oh God. My grandma as well, she used to read, and we would go away on holidays and we would just sit in the tree or like just sit at our campsites and just read all bloody day. It was the best. So yeah, that's when I started reading. Since the womb. 9, where do I read? I usually read in my bed, but my favorite spots at the moment are my balcony or the park down the road or my couch. But they're pretty standard, I would say, for most people. Number 10, I sort of already answered this, what kind of books do you like to read? But I love to read fantasy romance. It's my favorite genre of all time. Fantasy romance I've been really getting into lately. From fantasy romance, I find it's really hard to go to romance because there's not that extra level of angst. And then LGBTQIA plus books, of course, and I also love anything social justice, so like feminism, racial theory, LGBTQIA plus, like I said, but non-fiction. Spirituality, I'm a big spiritual gal. Astrology, all of those kinds of things. Me looking at my shelf, like being like, what else have I missed? My favorite series is The Mortal Instruments, but yeah, like not the first series because, I mean, Clara and Jace are okay, but like Cordelia and James, you cannot beat it. Although I really love the Infernal Devices, like Julian and Emma, oh my god, I love them. What else do I love? Oh, Akata. Akamath, but specifically A Court of Silver Flames is one of the best books ever and you can't change my mind. Or you probably could if some sort of problematic element in that book that I was missing. Also, I read Get a Life Chloe Brown recently. It's so freaking good. One of my favorites. I can't wait to read the rest of the series of that. Oh my god, and Normal People by Sally Rooney. What does your book collection look like? My book collection looks like this. I'll get up and show you what it actually looks like. This is my current book collection. I will eventually do a tour of my books, and I'm not sure I'm really showing the bottom. I guess I can, because it's a little bit messy and it's books that I need to get rid of, but essentially that's my book collection so far. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a brilliant day. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram down below, and I will see you next time.